Why, hello there. Do you enjoy shirts to put on your body? Custom character sheets to put in your D&D notes? Varian maps to put on your wall? Cool buttons to put on your lots of other stuff? All of the amazing merch for QPR and Goblins and Growlers can be found at Alpha Comics and Games, located in the Willow Lawn Shopping Center in Richmond, Virginia. Come check us out.
Where do we have rooms in the boat, or are we just like sleeping on the deck like
not
plebs?
rooms, cabins.
Do
we have berths? Do we have berths on the boat?
I hope not.
No, you've got a doula though, just in case.
Yeah. Well, there's so much water out here. It must have broken somewhere.
Water everywhere, but not a drop to drink.
Yeah. So,
this is Quid Pro Roll, a fantasy live play adventure where a party of unlikely heroes embark on a quest to bring dragons back to their world.
Well, howdy, listeners. Welcome to the Daily Crier Listening Show, where all the news and fairy and beyond can make its way right to you. You know, it was a long ago winter's day, and my old pal Blackwell and I decided to leave home. We were both at a time in our lives where we knew, somehow, what we needed wasn't going to be found at home. So I set the ranch in good hands, and on the ship we left. Now, Blackwell, he was a studious lad. I reckon he could compose a symphony with one hand while fixing a fine work clock in the other. It's funny how even the strongest minds can still get caught up in worry. Somehow, a simple ship departure can suddenly feel like so much more once that ramp slides away. And just a few feet become a world away before you know it. I wonder if any thoughts of where they're leaving, as opposed to where they're going, are running through the party's heads. After they sent the slavers and their ship to a charred and watery grave, the party took care of some final errands to make sure their passage was secured. Now, Ale says music is the pathway to the heart. And as the party sings together in the tavern, one can only hope the roads between their hearts are lit by the flames of hope. Don't let those fires go out, listeners. And always keep a song in your heart. You never know when you'll need that pathway back. And as always, y'all take care now.
the dawn breaks on your final day in Ilaria. You have a little bit of time before you agree to meet up at the ship to set sail for the north. Is there anything last minute that you want to do? Any final supplies you want to get? Anything that you want to make sure that you have squared away for your adventure in the Boris Empire?
That's right, folks. It's a shopping episode on this episode of QPR.
I'm asking if there's anything last minute you guys need. I am not opening the door for shopping episode number 456 of the show.
I'm going to give you a list of things that Solinar would try to buy before leaving town, and you tell me if any of them are unavailable, and then the total cost.
Wait,
so I'm assuming,
first off, jumping in, citric fruits.
Yes, you can get citric. Yeah, you're good, Johan.
Okay, let me make sure, marking that on the character sheet.
Mm-hmm. Gotta stave off that scurvy. Very, very important.
Mm-hmm. Gotta buy a lot of sunlight, too. Vitamin D.
Can I buy
I have news for you, Brandon, about being on the open water. 7 citruses.
7 units of citric fruits.
7 units of citric fruits. A-okay, bud.
Okay.
Is that bushels or barrels?
It's cubits.
Busherals.
Cubits.
I need 10 cubits of lemon, please.
Solinar's shopping list is as follows. Hay, which is for horses and also a donkey for...
And also
I think,
for greetings.
Also for Harry Carey. Hey, Norm.
I think we need like a... How far are we from the Boris Empire? Is it a 2-week sailing trip? Is it a month sailing trip?
2 or 3 weeks is probably about right.
Okay, 3 weeks then, because we're not taking a chance with the animals starving.
Yes. Josh has played Oregon Trail and learned not to take risks.
Enough greenery that we can ideally preserve for the deer. And then a couple barrels of water, some lock picks. I know that's going to be a little bit of a weird one, but, you know, every town's got their underground.
Every town's got a shady blacksmith.
Every town's got a blacksmith who's just looking to make a little coin.
A blacksmith who's looking to make a little coin is called a counterfeiter.
Is the new Kelly Lee Owens album in stock?
Unfortunately, no. Their LP selection's pretty bad.
Is that Chris Dane Owens' cousin?
And then throwing daggers, if they have any.
All right, you're gonna get 5 throwing daggers and 3 lockpicks.
Hot damn.
Do they have any socks?
Sock picks?
Yes, Johannes, you can.
You have to go to the
socks.
WikiFeet store to buy sock picks.
No!
How many socks am I allowed to buy?
How many do you want?
All of them.
All right,
I'll take the whole all socks.
Johannes is doing that scene in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. We'll take the lot! So now no one else can have snacks, you absolute insensitive clod.
Hey,
I'm fine if I don't want wizards to have socks.
All right, well, you buy all of the wizard socks and you gain 50 pairs of socks.
This town has just had trade open way back up now that it's no longer under the iron grip of those 2 maniac bounty hunters, okay? So like they're gonna be flowing socks through this town like nobody's business.
Guys, I do not want a shopping episode. Please finish your lists of acquisitions.
All these socks, darn it.
I'm going through my list. Do they have one of those things where it's metal balls that transfer energy through them so that one goes up and...
Executive
a Newton's
balls.
Cradle? A
Newton's
Newton's cradle?
I like executive balls. Do they got executive balls?
Dude, how is Brandon the one who said executive balls and not Josh?
Because Brandon wanted to say executive balls. I fully believe that Brandon knows the real name for that desk toy, but prefers the name executive balls.
I have a business degree. I declare that they're executive balls.
Do they have any? Are there any physics nuts?
Oh.
Sound out in the comments section, everybody. Those of you who went to business class, do you have a desk toy 101 class?
Business class?
Business class. Yeah, you didn't fly coach, you didn't fly first class. You were somewhere in the middle.
If y'all do not
do they have any
forward,
momentum magnums?
If y'all do not move forward with this adventure, you are sailing all the way to the Boris Empire, not in economy, but in the terrible, sad section where they keep pets.
Let the man grab those executive balls and we'll get moving.
Yes, you can get a Newton's cradle.
Oh, sick. I'll take one of those.
He knows it's sick because he asked them to turn their head and cough when he put his hands on them.
What?
I
Brandon.
looked just now at our recording time, being like, it must be almost halfway through the episode now. It's been 10 minutes. It just feels like a million years.
29 to go.
I'm gonna go buy the, like, it's like you're buying the Koza figure, but it has like the winter outfit on. So it's just like, looks like Koza, but normal outfit, but it's like puffier.
The winter alt outfit.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, so you buy Koza skin 4.
Yeah.
Seeing Koza hauling cold weather clothes, Solinar's like, oh yeah. And then goes back to also buy cold weather clothes.
Oh, there goes my frostbite death ending.
Yeah, could I buy a scarf?
Yes, you can buy a scarf.
Can I buy a stone that is always magically warm? So I can.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
You've bought uranium.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but the party dies three days later, painfully, horribly, as our insides liquefy.
You get your hands on an ember stone.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna, not yet, but I mean the plan is I'll stuff that in with my mushrooms, so that
I thought, okay, that makes sense. I thought Koz was just gonna like put it in his like under his sweater, like I had to do one time with all the hot hands packs.
They call them hot tots.
So we were riding back from MagFest, and my friend's van had all of her heating and AC broken. So we stopped. I was literally like shaking so hard they were worried I was gonna hit my head on the door because it was so cold, that we ended up at a we stopped at a shop and bought blankets, extra socks, and all of the hot hands packs we could get our hands on, and we were cracking them and like shoving them in our socks. We were shoving them down our shirts. We were like tucking them into our gloves.
That's me every winter.
Sounds hot.
It's not.
Boat's gonna buy a black wool onesie.
Like, are we talking like a sheep kigurumi kind of thing, or are we
Kinda,
talking
like
long pajamas?
Like a sweater, but it's on my whole body.
I will acquiesce, provided that you let me make it like a little black sheep kigurumi.
That's fine.
Yay!
I just don't want to be cold.
We call those shepherd vests.
Yeah. Boat is also buying some camping supplies because I imagine we're going to have to spend a little bit of time out in the woods of the Boris Empire since we're wanted criminals there.
Right, well, we'll find out.
I also want a cubit of lemons.
Can I buy like a steaming basket?
Sure.
All right, cool.
Guys, I'd like to move forward to actual listenable audio. Is anything else anybody needs?
I'm on the boat.
All right, beautiful.
I would also get on boat, but I feel like he can only support so much weight at once, so I'm going to get on the ship instead.
Johannes doesn't weigh much.
No.
He's wearing a plate.
Well, he's wearing
Yeah, but I
scale?
myself don't weigh much.
All
Yeah,
right.
I weigh 13.
That's a good unit.
Can I buy a pair of goggles?
Sure. You all arrive at the boat at the agreed upon time, just as the sun is starting to creep up beyond the horizon. It is an early dawn, but you step out onto the boat. Sails are raised, anchors are pulled up. You begin your journey to the cold waters of the Barosian shore, and the sea glitters in the sun with the promise of a calm voyage. The waves lap rhythmically against the wall of the ship, which, combined with the gentle rocking, makes the travel feel almost meditative. Everything is smooth, calm. You're almost surprised.
The waves are rapping, the flow is smooth. It's like Biggie Smalls out there.
I did not want to interrupt Alex's narration, but I had totally forgotten that all of this is happening pre-dawn. So I'm just picturing the party walking into a general store where the general store manager is like still really tight, like woke up like 30 minutes ago. And we're like, can I get all of your throwing knives and also any lockpicks that you have? And then like, do you have goggles I could have? Hey, do you have executive balls I could pick up? I'm looking for 7 barrels of citrus.
There's a 24-hour general store that's just really weirdly stocked.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's called the 812. Waves lapping, wind rapping, beats trapping. We're on this boat.
Hell yeah.
Some call this the little boat. Some call it the little yacht. Do, 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 do.
So did we decide, was it a ship or a boat?
It is a ship.
Okay. All right. What
Wait,
kind
sorry.
of...
I'm so sorry. I know we discussed this pre-call. What's the difference between the two? Is it masts?
Ship can go for a very long time without new stuff in it. Boat needs to regularly go to get new stuff, otherwise you starve.
Ship is van, boat is smart car.
Ooh, I love it. How many plugins do we got at the ocean?
Shout out to Snapshot on the Discord for filling us in on that info.
Yeah.
He's an excellent submariner.
If you're not on if you're not on the Discord, jump on it. bit.ly/Goblin Discord.
And explain basic concepts to us.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own specialties, and we have to respect and appreciate that.
That's what I love. I love it when somebody who served on a submarine tells us, "Hey, you're wrong about your mariner terms." And then we learn things, and then we're like, "Wow, I actually legit really good to know."
So you guys don't have your individual rooms. You're staying two to a room, but you do have beds, you do have space, and with your roommate, you have some level of privacy.
Okay. And where are the animals?
The animals are being kept below deck.
They're going to have to get some exercise at some point.
I mean, probably. I have some concerns because it sounds almost like you're about to release them to run free along the poop deck.
No, I'm just making an observation.
Look, Alex, the poop deck doesn't get its name by not having animals running all over it.
Yeah.
It's true.
We'll all enjoy the amenities of the poop deck.
I like that they keep the green recyclable bags right next to the poop deck. It's really
Pick up
convenient.
your mess.
As the ship goes, you see Johannes at the front of the bow.
At the front of the bow.
At the bow front.
I like the idea that Johannes is just desperately trying to climb onto the part where you normally have like a carved mermaid or something.
The maidenhead.
Yeah, just sitting on top of the maidenhead, One Piece style, looking out across the endless oceans, so vast and full of mystery, and just sitting there with his thoughts. Lots to ponder on the great seas.
Hi, Johannes.
Oh, hey, Koza. Plenty for two if you're looking to be sitting at the front of the port.
Oh.
Of the bow of the port of the bow of the boat.
Oh, okay. You know, I'm not sure how you made it down there.
Well, you slide. There's a fireman pole. That's you can't see it from your angle, but if you take 2 steps to the left, you'll see it.
Okay.
More of a piece of floss, really.
Koza's gonna swing down to sit with Johannes.
I'm so tempted to make you roll athletics, and if you fail, just have you fall into the sea. But that seems mean.
Do it.
All right, roll athletics for me.
13.
All right. You're able to swing down without much flourish, but effectively and easily, sitting next to Johannes.
So, how are you? How are you doing? You seem like you're always doing well.
I'm doing well.
I think that's
You're correct.
Great.
But I'm also, in this moment, trying to take the time that's been given us to slow down my thoughts and be a little bit like the water, reflective, like of the sky and of the world around me.
And, what do you think you see in the reflection?
Oh, no. I'm trying to be reflective, like, if I can get, like, light to bounce off me and go back outwards, so that in this moment, I just, instead of, like, absorbing lots of things, like, I feel like I have to do a lot. I feel like all of us are always absorbing things. Right now, I want to absorb nothing. Like, just be a big old mirror, Like, just let the world just hit me and then go back into itself. Because I think sometimes we just don't get the opportunity to just not be worried about things or aware of things. We never know, if somebody... It's pretty hard to dig a trapdoor ditch in the ocean, so we don't have any, traps being set for us on the road, hopefully. And I just want to kind of take this moment to be a little bit, peaceful, because I feel like, with all of the king and the war and the illegal smuggling of creatures and the tax evasion that's probably happening as well, that there's a lot of things that are waiting for us on the other side of the horizon right there. So until there's things on the horizon, I'm trying to be as tranquil as a wave.
I love this, but I am also very tempted to be like, and this is how Johannes learned that the Boris Empire has developed sea mines.
I was just picturing the golden dragons somewhere ahead of our sailing path, desperately trying to dig water out of the way. Man, it keeps filling itself back in. What are we gonna do?
Swimming in a circle rapidly enough where they're creating a little whirlpool, but then they're getting sucked down into it, and they're like, oh no.
We see one of those like mechanical dragon costumes closing on us from behind, and we hear like anime laughter coming from it.
But yeah, that's all I'm trying to do, Koza. How about yourself? What brings you to the front of the bow?
I guess I feel like there's like, it's all gonna happen really quickly.
Yeah.
Like, do we really have time to relax? And then, because we're gonna be there, and then whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. And then there'll be more that happens after that, and then more after that, and more after that, and it just seems like there'll always just be more.
Well, let me stop you right there, Koza, because I think that as, much as might happen in front of us at the end of the day, right now, there's nothing in front of us but waves. And maybe there's things beyond those waves, but until we see them, I don't see how we can know anything outside of the fact that there's a wave over there, and that's it. Just waves for as far as I can see in every direction. And maybe there's even some big waves over the horizon. I bet there's probably some in one of these places, but maybe it's smooth and calm waters. I know what you're saying, because I also feel like there's going to be a lot real fast, and then who knows, maybe we're on the other side. Sometimes when I think backwards, all of a sudden I get back to where we started real quick. Just, even before meeting you. But at the same time, sometimes it feels like forever away. And I think sometimes when you ask about, well, what time do we have to slow down? Maybe that time is right now, which is what I'm doing right now. Because right now, all it smells like is fish stank. And wish I learned that phrase from Boat. He was talking to me about, I don't know if he's ever talked to you about pheromones. Very interesting stuff.
It felt really uncomfortable, but yeah, let's talk about something else other than Boat's thoughts on pheromones.
Yeah, but yeah, I think if there's a time to slow down, sometimes rather than trying to think in the future about a time to slow down, maybe that time is right now.
So, as that moment kind of passes and fades, as the two look on the horizon in silence, Boat, we're going to go over to you. Mm-hmm. What are you doing in the ship right now?
Boat went down to his berth and has just sort of stretched out in bed for a little bit.
At your door, Boat, you're going to hear a sort of soft knock.
Mm-hmm. Yes?
It's me. Can I come in?
Sure. Boat's just a little groggy because he's been in that sort of midway between sleep and awake.
Alita's going to come in, Felix on her shoulder, and close the door behind her quietly. She's going to walk over and sit in a nearby chair. Are you feeling all right?
Yeah, it's just been a long stretch of time, and I figured we finally had a little bit of downtime because we hopefully weren't going to get ambushed out on the open ocean. So I wanted to just take a few minutes and relax for a little bit.
If you want to relax, I can come back later. I had a question that I don't think is conducive to that.
No, it's fine. As long as you're not going to make me get up and start exercising, we can have a perfectly wonderful conversation while I lie here on this bed.
Boat, can I ask you to be honest with me about something?
I suppose.
What is your... We know that we're going to be dealing with chromatic priests in the Boris Empire. There's a higher concentration of them there than anywhere. Right?
As far as I know. I imagine you know better than I do, too.
And one of the chromatic priests is pretty much guaranteed to pop up.
Look, I know what you're getting at, and let me just stop you. Because I'm trying to compartmentalize a few things, given what we're getting into in this whole situation. I'm not blind to it. I'm not pretending like it's not so, but it's just not something that I am really interested in dealing with right at this moment, because I'm worried it's just going to distract me.
I'm asking about whether or not you have either a plan or something. If something happens and we need to fight or anything like that, I want to know now if you don't think you can.
I think I'll be fine. I'll tell you a story. You know, when you're wrestling, sometimes things don't go as planned. Sometimes you have you got a spot that you're planning for a match, and you know, a little bit of a spoiler, sometimes we rig the outcomes of those matches. I know that's surprising, but anyway, sometimes maybe you and whoever's in the ring with you, you're planning something, and maybe they get hurt, their head's a little foggy, they can't figure out what's going on, and you have to figure out a way to take the match home all by yourself. You got to be able to think quick on your feet. You gotta still be able to meet the audience's expectation and send them home having had a good time. I look at that as a transferable skill, and I've been using it, you know, ever since we've all been together. You get into a situation, there's no way to predict how these things are going to go. All you can do is trust yourself based on past experience that you're going to be able to make a solid to passable decision that gets you and everybody you care about through it.
Well, that's my question. I think that there are a couple of conflicts in people you care about.
Maybe, but I think overanalyzing it gets you in trouble. You get into analysis paralysis, and you lose the ability to just move on instinct. And I think right now, I just have to trust myself enough to make a good decision. And I would like to think that you and everybody else could trust me enough to make a good decision too.
I would have an easier time if I felt like you trusted us at all.
I don't know why you think I don't trust you.
You think you have to do everything yourself.
That doesn't mean I don't trust you. That just means that's how I am.
No. It means you're not conscious that you don't trust us, but it means you don't trust us to handle anything.
I don't know if it means that.
In those weird things that I saw Johannes doing, the trust falls,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you could do those.
I've had to take care of myself for a long time, and I think I've done all right. I'm not necessarily at the top of the pyramid in sort of any facet of life, if you want to call anything out specifically, but I've done okay. You know, I've never been in prison. I associate with people of relatively good character, yourself included. If I didn't trust you all, I wouldn't be here. Maybe I trust myself a little more than other people sometime, but I don't think it's a binary decision.
I've said my piece. I'm gonna let the rest of it go. If you decide that you have something that you want to do with this, tell me.
I appreciate you checking in. All I'll say is, just when the time comes, I hope you trust me.
I hope that too. Alita is going to get up, give Felix like a little scritch, and then she's gonna head out. Solinar.
So I think Solinar, while these conversations are happening, is in the belly of the ship, the cargo hold, getting the horses and Stronky, just the ability to walk up and down the length of the ship.
The Horses and Stronky, our favorite new band.
The just giving them a little opportunity to stretch the old legs.
I hope Stronky has a cousin named Musculary.
It's terrible.
And then I think after exercising the animals for a little bit, I think Solinar would head probably towards the birds.
So before you head out to go up to, not the bowels of the ship, you feel a little tug on your sleeve.
Who tugging?
So you turn, you see that Snuffles has nipped onto your sleeve and is tugging at you a little bit.
What? We can't get off the ship. I'm walking you forward and back so you can stretch your legs. There's only open ocean around the ship.
She's going to huff and stomp her foot.
Well, there doesn't need to be attitude about that. That's just the facts of the matter, little lady.
Snuffles is going to turn so that you are looking directly into her eye. Because she can't look at you straight on because she is, a prey animal.
Right.
Roll perception for me real fast.
Oh, man, because I'm so good at that.
I know. God,
Actually,
it's almost like
17.
having a whole party with wisdom as their dump stat, with the exception of Koza and Alita, was unwise.
That's 2 out of 5. That's very respectable. But also, I rolled a 17, so I'm feeling good about that as
2
well.
out of 5 is very respectable. Was Meatloaf's underwhelming follow-up to 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
So,
And I know that it received 4 out of 10 stars, I think.
That sounds
Passable.
right. That sounds right.
Passable.
Solinar, as you look into Snuffles' eyes, you see for a moment the eye changes as you look at it. Like just for a flash, for a moment.
For just an instant, I see into the eldritch abomination. Solinar's mind is immediately broken. I will spend the rest of the adventure gibbering and talking about cults and talking about the great old ones coming for us. Is that what you're saying?
The eye for a moment is gold. The pupil, a full slit instead of the standard big round horse eye.
When you say gold, like, are we talking like cat eye yellow, or are we talking like
Yeah, cat eye's pretty.
metallic almost gold?
It is going to be gold and almost reptilian.
You've been drinking the seawater.
Snuffles?
Snuffles is going to kind of shake her mane and whinny.
What you got going on with your eyes there, Snuffles? The sea air really disagreeing with you?
Snuffles is going to kind of like perk up, her ears going around as she's listening for something. She's going to sigh and without lead or prompting go back to her stable.
That horse is so much smarter than anyone would ever believe.
You hear the sound of her closing her own stable door.
So much smarter.
And then you were going to head up to the bird?
To the birds, yes.
Okay. Are you doing
the many
any...
cabins?
Wait, are we talking the bird's nest? Is that where
No.
you're going?
Crow's nest?
The births.
Births! I thought you were trying to be colloquial about...
Are you going
Yeah,
to the
just-
bird theater?
Yeah, just headed up to the birds. Trying to get as close to seagulls as I can. Grab one out of the air, possibly. Have a little snack.
I mean, what you do is you put a pear on your head and sort of move your arms around, and then you can mind control the seagull.
Oh. As long as the pear has a creepy face on it.
Yes, the creepy face is important.
Of the utmost importance.
Sploosh.
Sploosh.
Yeah. Solnar's headed to the cabin, perhaps.
Cackle. We got cackles going on. You know it's Halloween.
She's doing.
We got the cackles.
She's doing the cat arms wave.
I'm fine. I'm fine. For some reason, Alon's sploosh impression just gets me.
Which cackles on Halloween?
So you're heading to your room, Solinar?
Not to his room necessarily. Solinar was going to knock on. Wait, hold on. We're paired up. There's 5 of us. Does that mean Alita's got her own room? Alita's rooming with the captain.
I was going to say, either she has her own room or she's rooming with the captain. She probably has made the argument that she's sharing a room with Felix.
Solinar was going to knock on Alita's door.
She's going to open the door, and you see that she was not kidding. The lower bunk has been claimed entirely by Felix, who has made it his own tiny nest.
All the stuff that he bought at the market just strewn out everywhere.
It's like, Felix, you're eating so much candy.
I see Felix has established his small hoard for the time that we're on the ship.
I don't think he's really decided what he wants to hoard yet.
Well, he's got time.
Anyway, what's up?
I wanted to check in on you, because it's been a little bit now, and we, as a group, haven't really talked about how you're doing with, the whole...
With Alden?
Alden situation, yeah.
How honest do you need me to be?
I mean, I don't need you to express anything, but it seemed like it might be good for you to be able to get it off your chest.
The man that I looked at as my father figure my entire life, I find out, had lied to all of us about our inability to interact with the outside world. And now he is dead. All of the answers going with him.
I mean, I can see a way in which that is a self-serving thing, but I also don't know that he did that out of purely unkindness.
If anything, though, it just makes me... I've never really spent a lot of time... I've thought about it once or twice, but I've never really spent a lot of time figuring out how Alden didn't get lost like the others.
Well, I think we have an answer to that, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
He made a deal with Baba Yaga.
But how did he know?
Well, there's a couple of possibilities there. Wasn't the previous party trying to prevent it?
So that either means that he sent them knowing they were going to fail and die, or he didn't really have enough faith to trust them. And I wonder, did he feel that way about us?
You can hire security for your property. That doesn't mean you don't put locks on your doors.
Maybe. Look, to answer your question, how I am doing about Alden, I have no idea. I don't know how I feel about him, and that is new to me. I haven't decided if I trust him, if I think he's a liar, if I think that he had anything to do with everything going wrong. I don't know at all how I feel about any of this. And to be perfectly frank with you, I think the reason that I am still going on this journey with all of you is because you all are the closest thing to family that I have, and I don't know what else to do.
I think the journey has merit, even without Alden directing us to be on it. Even if all we look at it is the chromatic dragons have nothing opposing them. Nothing at their level opposing them. And so they get to do what they want when they want and walk all over everybody else. Just putting something back into the ecosystem that makes things a little more fair, I think there's value to that.
I think you're right. The true answer to you is I don't know how I feel about almost anything right now.
Well, I don't think you have to know how you feel, but it might help you make faster decisions if you've got an idea of where you're at and you're given some kind of choice. You know, if something came along and said, hey, do you want to be a priest for a different kind of metallic dragon?
I just want to keep the four of you safe.
Well, I would say that the notion is very much appreciated, but I don't think any of us is keeping each other safe at this point.
Well, certainly not me at this point.
Well, don't cut yourself too short there. Also, have you ever looked Snuffles in the eye before?
Yes, several
real
times.
Close.
She likes to do that.
Close.
She gets really close to you and stares at you.
Yeah, but if you ever stared back,
Yes?
you ever staring at Snuffles' eye and it looks kind of like a lizard eye?
What?
Yeah, kind of like Gabe's got his face all the way up against the camera. A bit of that action.
I mean, I feel like Boat would know better than I.
Well, the reason I'm coming to you with this is there was one time that I know that Koza tried to talk to Snuffles, and that Snuffles spoke a language that was sort of kind of familiar and sort of kind of not. And I'm starting to wonder if the language that Snuffles speaks is dragon.
Why would a horse speak dragon?
You raise a very interesting question. Why would a horse sometimes have dragon eye? Because that's what I just saw. I don't think that's a sign of infection. I'm pretty sure. Certainly not one I've ever heard of.
You know how sometimes you get an eye infection and it turns your eye into that of a lizard?
Dragon eye is what you get when you let a newt lick your eyeball.
What a specific condition.
And pink eye is what you get when you swim in the river in Richmond.
Ah!
Stay out of the James, kids.
I've kayaked in the James. I'm still alive.
I fell into the James.
I also fell into the James now that I think about it.
I fell into the James while rafting down the James.
I was standing on one of the rocks on Belle Isle and took a step and slipped, fell on my ass, and slid down the rock like a slide into the water.
Hell yeah.
no!
Have you all not just
Brandon and I are contaminated.
gone swimming in the James?
Not as often as we are told that the James has been polluted by human contaminant, no.
It's because we had a lot of rain at some point recently. Whenever it does that, there's too much effluent in the river.
Yeah, it's because we have a CSO, combined sewer overflow system.
It's
I
My
because
point,
swim.
my point being is that dragon eye not common in Richmond, pink eye
yeah.
very common in Richmond.
We do have a dragon overflow system.
DS.
Oh no!
DOS. DOS. We're getting DOSed.
We've got dogs?
Honestly, I don't know, but I feel like Boat might have an idea.
I mean, I was thinking about stopping in and checking on Boat as well, so we could make that our next stop.
I just checked on him. Maybe you should just go by yourself.
Okay. Well, you don't have to come with if you don't want to. Here's the thing. End of the day, whatever decision you make about what your future looks like, that's your choice. You are not beholden to a large silver dragon with expectations of having raised you. You are not, I mean, you're kind of sort of beholden to this prophecy thing, but only in a destiny sort of way. And I don't know how much I buy that there's this infallible destiny thing and it's gotta go the one specific way. Because if that was the case, we're invincible until that happens, right? It has to go that way. There's no other way it can go. And that just doesn't make sense. So, you have choice. You have the ability to make things happen on your own. and embrace that, you know?
Thank you, Solar.
You're welcome. All right, I'm gonna go bug boat.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
See you around. We got 2 weeks to go, or something like that.
As Solinar heads over to knock on Boat's door, discussing the matter further, you can hear something off in the distance. Just as soon as you hear it, it seems like it's gone, but it's soft, gentle. It sounds like music.
Quid Pro Roll is a co-production of Alpha Comics and Games with Goblins and Growlers. Our audio production and all original music composition is provided by Gabriel Perez. He can be found at Amethyst Audiomancer on Instagram. The voice of Alita and our DM for the podcast is Alex Smith. She can be found at Alpha Comic Games on Twitter. The voice of Charles Gravy Boat Barnes is Brandon Dingus. He can be found at Way of Brandalore on Twitter. The voice of Eek and Koza are Chapman Adams. He can be found at What Are Birds on Instagram. The voice of Johannes is Alan. He can be found at The Dungeon Meowster on Instagram. And finally, the voice of Solinar is me, Josh Maltby, and I can be found at Blackcloak DM on Twitter. Thanks so much for listening. You know, funny fact is that the poop deck isn't actually named after animal feces. It's named after the inventor, Christopher Alexander Poop.
Wait, that's actually his name?
CAP?
No, I made all of that up.
Okay, you said with such conviction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No cap, Josh. No cap.
No cap.
You know, sometimes they'd abbreviate his name to CPAP.
I am just. This is like a stroke.
Yeah. Half your face looks like I don't want to be here, and the other half looks like I don't want to be here.